Good morning, saints. God bless you, encourage you, lift you, strengthen you. I know many out there that are being battled. They're being battled and they're worn and they're tired. The enemy is fighting so hard. Even some that do the YouTube videos, some watchmen, some preachers out there. Many saints are being battled so hard. The enemy is taking out the big guns. He is not letting up. And I can hear it in some of the voices. And I've heard many say, I'm just going through something right now. I'm going through something right now. We need to pray for one another. We need to stay encouraged. We need to be focused on God's word and get on our knees. I know that seems easier said than done in the heat of the battle, because sometimes it's hard to kneel and to pray and to stay and to focus on reading God's word in times like this. But we need to. James 4:7 says, submit yourselves therefore to God, resist the devil and he will flee. Draw near to God and he will draw near to you. Verse 10 says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord and he shall lift you up. He is faithful. He is faithful. If we will just submit ourselves, if we will humble ourselves, if we will pray and we will resist the devil, he will flee. So when we don't want to pray anyway. When we feel like we can't read, get that word inside of our hearts, inside of our minds. Escape to the bathroom at work. Say a prayer. On the way to work, driving in the car, say a prayer. When you glance down at your phone, instead of looking at your text messages, get a Bible app and read a few scriptures, whatever it takes. Submit, draw near, stay encouraged, look to him. He will lift you up. He will guide us. This is the final sprint. The devil's working hard. He knows the end is in sight. Encourage one another. Pray for one another. There's so many things going on in the world. And I know if you look at the television, if you just look at the state of the world, the threats of war, the enemy that has moved into our country, the religions that are false, the religions that are filled with hate, and the politicians that just we listen to and that we see, that we know that the enemy is just using them. And you look at some people and you think, it's crazy, it's crazy. It's like the word says, there's many that have eyes that can't see and ears that cannot hear. And there's many that we see that are on the path straight to hell. And there's even the warning signs, the signs on the side of the road, the path that they're on that says hell straight ahead. And they keep walking. And they'll see another sign that says hell 12 miles and they keep going. Instead of looking at the warning signs and reading the signs that's saying hell straight ahead, hell 12 miles ahead, whatever it may be, they're listening to Satan 4.0 GPS. They are listening and just going ahead blindly, just going. And there's some that sees the state of the world that refuses to see it. They're like, do you know? Yeah, I know. It's nothing. It's not the end of the world. It's not the end of days. It's not this. It's not that. Because they don't want to see. They don't want to hear. They don't want to know. But this is what we do know. We know God's word. We know him. we know that we are to look up, to submit ourselves to the Lord, to resist the devil and he will flee, to humble ourselves in the sight of the Lord and he shall lift us up. No matter what you're going through this moment, this hour, no matter how hot, no matter how heavy things have got, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, mentally, no matter what, no matter who's coming against you, no matter who you've lost, no matter how bad you've been hurt, God is there. He is able. Look to Him. Look to Him. Don't allow these things to cloud your judgment, to discourage you, to distract you, to cause you to want to lay down, to sit down, to whatever. Look ahead. See that finish line and keep going. Keep going. God bless you this morning and encourage you. I know that I haven't done any great teaching recently or got in depth in the Word. And I do have some things that I want to share, and I will. And I too, like many of you, have been going through some things, but that's all right. Because I know that Word. Steal those secret moments, read that Word, get that Word in our minds and our hearts. Drop to our knees, even when we feel like we don't know what to say. God knows. He hears. Be blessed.